Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Manifest on Purpose Mindset Show Backstage. I am your host, Kimberly Williams. You can find that show down in the YouTube feed. Today's Backstage is going to be about conversation number 16. This week, I've been talking about emotion, and conversation number 16 is all about using your emotions to manifest. I don't know if you know it or not, but your emotions are a powerful manifestation tool. In fact, they're necessary. Your emotions are a part of you and a part of life. In last conversation, I talked about how you should not be trying to control your emotions. I know you hear it a lot. People say you should control your emotions. No, you should be able to find balance in your emotions. And we're going to get into that today because whatever your emotions are will attract more of that to you. It's important to be aware of your emotions so that you know what's coming to you and you can intentionally manifest the things that you really want. Sometimes people wonder, why am I not getting the things that I want? You may not be getting your desires because you have not brought your emotions to the party. If you're saying that you want to manifest something like a new car, but the whole while you're stuck in that emotion of fear, that car will not arrive because you're in the wrong emotion. The purpose for your emotions in manifestation is to make your mind think that whatever it is that you desire is real and true to you already. That's all it's doing, is trying to convince your mind that you already have what you want. You can't convince your mind that you already have what you want if your emotions are a contradiction to what you're requesting. So emotions are very important, especially because there's two ways to manifest. There's an intentional way of manifesting, and you already know we're already manifesting all of the time anyway. So if we're already manifesting all the time anyway, you probably want to know, then what the heck do I manifest? How does the universe send things to me if I'm already manifesting anyway? You manifest by default when you're not intentional in your manifestation or if you're not intentional in your life. And what that simply means, you'll attract to you the things that you are focused on the most. And guess what? Your emotions co-sign that. So emotions are very important. It's important to keep your emotions in check to make sure that they're always balanced. Today, I want to go over Esther Hicks Emotional Guidance Scale. This is a scale that Esther Hicks developed, and the purpose of this scale is to help people gradually increase their emotions. I think it's very beneficial. That's why I chose to use that to share with you today. I'm going to pull it up on the screen so that you can take a look at it. Bam, here it goes. Abraham Hicks Emotional Guidance Scale. If you want to, you can Google this and pull it up for yourself, print off a copy or whatever. But what it has is the emotions ranging from number 1 to number 22. Number 1 represents the highest elevated emotion. These are the emotions that you should be in when you're intentionally trying to manifest something. And I'm going to take it a step further. These are the emotions that you need to practice being in as much as possible so that by default, you're not attracting low-level things. Number 22 is the opposing side of the scale. Number 22 is fear, grief, powerlessness, despair, depression. When you're intentionally manifesting something, you don't want to be carrying those emotions around. They can be damaging to whatever you're trying to create. You want to be at that level of number 1: joy, appreciation, empowerment, freedom, and love, the most powerful, highest elevated emotion. That's where you want to be at, or somewhere close to it. So what your goal is when you're intentionally manifesting is trying to get from number 22 up to number 1, or wherever you are on the scale up to number 1. Number 1 is the goal. Whenever you're manifesting and you're doing your techniques or visualizing or whatever it may be, make sure that you're in that emotion of joy and gratitude, those type of things, love, because they are powerful and they attract those things to you. And if you're on the opposing scale, those things are powerful too. They're just as powerful as the things that's on the number 1 scale, but they're going to attract things to you that you may not want in your life. Here's the kicker. If you're already down at the bottom of the scale on number 22, you're not going to be able to get from 22 to number 1 right away, I'm assuming. Because emotions, they take time to change. You have to have time to be able to balance these things out. What Esther Hicks suggests is, don't try to go from 22 all the way up to 1 at once. If you're at 22, work your way up to number 21. So if you're feeling like you're in fear, work your way up to insecurity and continue to work yourself up little by little until you get to the point where you can be on the elevated level of that scale. Like I said, this is something that you can go and pull up yourself and you can print it off, and this can be a guide for you to be able to manifest on the highest level frequency. And I talked about a few other ways too that you can elevate your emotions. One of the techniques that I love the most is being mindful, going within, because you have the opportunity, you have access to unlimited power right within you. There's a lot of things that you can do within yourself if you stop trying to do it on a physical level. Instead of trying to fix things on the outside of you, try to fix things within. So when you want to elevate your emotions, go within. And the thing that I like to do is to bring up or recall a memory that made me laugh, that makes me feel joy, that puts me in gratitude. And I just think on that. I just meditate on that for a few moments. And I wait to feel the trigger in my body, because it's going to trigger your body to change. It's going to release different chemicals, even if you're acting as if at first. It will eventually start triggering so that chemicals can be released in your body so that you can actually start feeling those emotions. And that becomes powerful because that's when you go into your visualization techniques. So everything you do in manifestation, make sure that you're doing it in the most highest elevated emotion as possible. Make sure not only just in your manifestation, in your daily routines, on a day-to-day basis. Make sure that you're expressing these high-level emotions so that the things that come to you in your life can reflect that. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening in to me. I love you to life. This is how you manifest on purpose.